Start. Hi. I tried to go live last night when we did, sorry, Facebook can't see my face. Hold on, I'm going live in 2 places. So this is a little difficult, but I tried to go live last night at church and it didn't work out because the connection was bad. So I'm going to get, you know what? I'm going to move you guys over to the side so I'm looking at all of you at the same time. So I'm looking in one direction. Otherwise, I just look like I'm looking all over the place. All right, so today's craft is going to be a Native American shaker. And I was inspired by these ceramic shakers that I picked up. And shoots, I don't know the name of it, but I picked this up in a local town. And my sister actually bought this one for me. It's got a little bee on it. Let's see if you can see that. And I have to go to both cameras. But it's sweet. It's got like these little beads in it, and it makes such a sweet sound. And this one's made out of ceramic, so it has a wrap around it with some beads and a hole in the side where the beads were. And it's hollow inside. And I was thinking, wow, that's pretty. And I feel like I could kind of do a spin-off on that and make it my own. But I don't have a kiln and I don't have ceramic access. So I was thinking of a way to do it for you guys. So I kind of think I've come up with something. I'm going to try it out with you and let me know if you like it. But using the air dry clay that I made this heart. Let's see if I can get it on both cameras. Here we go. This heart that I made out of air dry clay. I'm going to use air dry clay, but this one's really heavy. So I needed it to be hollow. So I knew I needed a base. So what I did was went over to Hobby Lobby, my favorite place, and I got some paper mache molds. And these are ornaments. But I like the design of this one. I think this one's kind of cool. And I got a star, heart, of course. This one's a box. So this one makes it even easier because you just open the box and I'm filling it with beads. Some metal and some plastic. I tried a couple of different things. Just the cheap plastic made a nice sound. You hear that? I like that. I think these are used for prayer. So you shake them and then you say a prayer and the noise, I think, takes you to another level. I don't know. This is, am I going to be upside down for you guys? I'm wondering. This probably needs to go like this, right? Hold on. Sorry, I've never done a live on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. So maybe I'm supposed to be this way for you guys. You let me know if I was upside down or sideways originally. And you guys on Facebook are just sort of looking at my shirt. But I'll try to sit down so you guys can see. But I always work standing up, so the odds of me standing up is pretty good. So back to the paper mache. In the Christmas section, they had these little gingerbread men. And I thought this would be really cute to make little voodoo dolls for Halloween. Just pull this out. And then I'm going to make a hole. And I'm going to use an X-Acto knife. I don't know if these dolls are hollow. I'm going to find out though. Be very careful. Use your X-Acto knife. I do have a hand drill that I could have used to make the hole, but it's not necessary. So just do that, and I'm going to kind of punch it through with this pen or pencil. You have to make a big enough hole to fit your beads in. So depending on what size beads you end up using. And I have some scrap pieces of things. Let's see if these don't really make a lot of noise. If I put, these all have to be really tiny in order to move around in there. So let me see if I have I may have to run out to Hobby Lobby to get something smaller. Let's try these. They're working. That's working. These are just jewelry findings too. They're not even beads, but just little metal jewelry findings. Hey Chelsea, good morning. Okay, so it does kind of, I may have put one too many. So just shake it and see how the sound that you like. This is kind of good though for a voodoo doll. Sounds like a shaman or like a, what do you call it? Swamp witch doctor. This will be cute for Halloween. I'm going to cover this in clay. And I'm going to do this heart the same way. So I'm going to take some hot glue around this heart lid for this box. I'm going to just put hot glue on it. I'm not going to shake it just yet. I'm going to let the hot glue dry because if I shake it right now, some of the beads might get stuck to the hot glue. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to let that chill out for a minute. But what I'm using to cover the shaker, like my inspiration, is an actual clay. Oh, thanks, Chelsea. I'm trying to get everything loaded onto YouTube also because I think a lot of people are leaving Facebook. Are you guys leaving Facebook, going to Instagram and just closing your accounts? Or I just don't know if I need to stay on Facebook or not because I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to move everything that I had on Facebook over to YouTube channel so you guys will have access to it. And you know what's cool about YouTube? You can put it on your TV. You can click that YouTube app and then watch it from TV. And I was kind of inspired because my nephew, my great nephew, was watching a bunch of YouTube videos when I was there. And I was like, how cool would that be if he could watch me on his TV? Nope, you're not leaving Facebook? Okay, cool. That's good to know. Chelsea's an amazing photographer. And so she says she's not leaving Facebook. So that's, you're kind of stuck here. You don't understand Instagram? I hear that a lot. It just takes practice. Everything takes practice. So anyway, get some air dry clay. And again, I've never done this craft, so we're going to see if it works. I think it might. Just going to kind of wrap it. By now, the hot glue should have dried. So we're going to wrap our box in air dry clay. Y'all, I feel like this is something the kids could do. So just kind of, I think it'd be fun for the kids. They could do everything. There's paper mache dogs, paper mache cow, paper mache, all sorts of things I saw at Hobby Lobby. Where else did I see some? Learning Express. I saw some paper mache there in some cool shapes. This would be cool to do if you're an art teacher for school, and then you can donate them to the over to the music lab, and then they can use them for their music lesson. Bud, what's wrong? My little dude is crying. What's wrong, Bud? You want to come do a craft? No. His sister won't play with him anymore. Hashtag summer. That's what me and my friend are doing. Every time our kids are giving us some troubles, we're like, hashtag summer. I haven't had too many troubles with the kids, but just my middle one doesn't want to play with her little brother anymore, or little bother as they call the little brother nowadays. All right, so this is getting pretty covered. It's a little bulky in some areas, so that's all I'm doing is just kind of trimming it down. It's a little bulky and a little light in some areas, so I'm feeling around to see if I can feel some points. And I'm covering that around. Chelsea, you can make one like this to distract your newborns. It doesn't have a great shape now that it's covered in clay. When this clay dries, it gets a little lighter, so I think it'll be a little bit louder. Hopefully. I mean, you can still hear it. It's a fun inspiration piece. I think the inspiration piece was $30. If you wanted to make it more like the inspiration piece, you could also wrap it in some twine or something like a neat ribbon. Again, I'm just like feeling around for where the box is, getting rid of some of the bulk in areas, and then covering some areas where it's not thick enough. So it's just, you just play with it. See how it's starting to take shape? I think this is gonna work. That's pretty cool. It might be kind of cool to make these with a couple of toys that the kids have, and then give it to them later when they move out, and tell them that there's some, or I don't know, something. The idea is there. Work with me here, people. Put something like a treasure in there for them, or a ring. How cool would that be? And then whenever they're older, you know, you tell them, you know that heart you had hanging up in your room? Or that heart you had hanging off your door? There's actually a beautiful diamond ring in there for you. That's pretty neat. All right, so you got, ooh, I left my air dry clay uncovered. You probably don't want to do that. All right, so if there's any like marred areas, you can always use water, a little bit of water, and kind of smooth it out, which I likely will do. I'm gonna do my voodoo doll and get him all geared up. I was thinking though, for hair for the voodoo doll, what I might do is take some yarn and knot it and kind of stick it out like this, and do like 3 little strands of the yarn. I might even use this stuff, this natural fiber. This is jute. So just making just some knots. Let me grab my scissor. If I can find it, I always put stuff where it doesn't belong. Oh, luckily today it was where it belonged. So just doing that and then hot gluing it on there. Might be cute with some black hair. Could do it with black. Let's see if I have some black handy. I have string handy. I don't think I want string. I think I want more yarn. So anyway, kind of play with that. Figure out what you want your voodoo doll to look like. I'm going to do this one with this natural jute and see if it works. The problem that you're going to have is trying to keep your hair from getting dirty from the clay. But that's the only foreseen problem that I see by doing this. So I think maybe just a little bit of painter's tape or some masking tape just to hold it. So all I'm doing is making a loop, and then I'm going to hot glue that onto the voodoo doll. One in the center, one on the side. I hope you can hear the shake once it's covered. I really need a new hot glue gun. If you guys have any recommendations on a good hot glue gun, y'all let me know. This one is the Shore Bonder from Hobby Lobby. And it doesn't push the glue all the way. And it irritates me because I have to put a new stick in order for it to push the glue all the way. And then the new stick falls out and I'm picking up sticks all over the floor. That's going to be cute. Obviously, I'm going to trim those up a little bit, but that's going to be really cute. Yeah, I need to let that dry a little bit. All right, I got to cover this clay up. So let me grab a chunk. Let's just grab a chunk of that air dry clay. You guys have any questions about the air dry clay? This is the kind I use. It's from Hobby Lobby. It's $10.99. See. No questions? No one's tuning in. I don't know where everybody's at this morning. Maybe working out. I know a lot of people work out first thing in the morning, or they're playing with the kids. It's summer. If you guys watch this later, y'all let me know. Send me a wave. Tell me hello. I like reading the comments. And if you have any questions or have any comments about it, just let me know. Wet my whistle. I'm letting the hot glue dry on the hair. He's going to be cute. I think I'm going to put maybe a button eye on one button eye. I'm going to try to do it without using masking tape. I'm such a messy crafter, though. I probably shouldn't do that. Just kind of wrap him. Gingerbread man turned voodoo doll. I like decorating for Halloween. I think it's fun. If you guys use this clay a lot too, let me know any tips and tricks that you got. I only just started using it, and I did have some of my beads cracked that I made when I made my little fish tutorial. That's also on Instagram. So my daughter took a class in school, and so she gave me a couple of tips about it, but I haven't mastered this for sure. So if there's any masters that work with this, they probably don't. They probably use ceramic, but for the at-home crafter, just to get started, I think this is pretty cool, pretty fun. So I'm just covering it. Look how neat that's gonna look. I find the weirdest things so neat. I'm like, oh, look how pretty. Look at my voodoo doll. I guess Bud's good. I don't hear him sobbing or anything. He might have fallen asleep. You know, when your sister's so mean and she won't play with you anymore. There's a weird age when kids get, well, little girls, when they get about 10 years old, 9, 10 years old, they just stop playing with their siblings, and it's heartbreaking. My sister did the same thing to me, and I just couldn't, for the life of me, understand it. It's just like, why don't you want to play with me? They have their own friends and their own interests, and they're not quite a baby, not quite a teenager. Kids. #summer. See? It's looking cute. Cute. I figure out how to go around her hair. It's a her, I guess. I'm going to push it right up. I know you really can't see what I'm doing, but you're just using your hands and just kind of pushing it right up into there. I think what I might do is roll some snakes and stick them in between. Like, you know what I'm talking about, rolling snakes like Play-Doh? And this takes 24 hours to dry, so don't get too excited to see it or too excited to play with it. But whenever it is dry, it's white. And it'll be ready to paint. I've been experimenting with the paint. So you see this project? I did this with stamping inks, and I felt like that worked really well. The painting using actual acrylic paint, I didn't feel like worked great. So what I might do with this is seal it first and then try to use acrylic paints. Because I feel like the clay is just so porous, and when it gets wet, it gets malleable again. So it's kind of like, okay, great. So it's back to needing to be dried again. So you can't really put a whole lot of wet stuff on it. That's why I think the inks work well, because they're not as wet as the watercolor or acrylic, although it looks a little like a watercolor. See that? So you just make little snakes to go around the sides of the head. I think it might have been cuter with this might be my Cajun heritage coming out, using clay to make dolls, because I know that in some of the Acadian homes, when you go to visit, like in Lafayette, when you go visit those Acadian style homes, you'll see dolls made out of clay, and I was always fascinated by that. And then masks made out of clay and moss. Okay, I just kind of pulled it off there. I didn't mean to. Voodoo dolls are pretty much a, I mean, you see them everywhere in Louisiana. I'm not exactly sure if it's a Creole thing. I probably should do some research on it. Maybe it was brought to us by the Creole community, or I don't think it's a French thing, because I don't ever remember that being associated with French culture. But like the fleur-de-lis, that's French culture, right? So I don't think the voodoo doll is French culture. So see, he's looking a little bulkier. It's cute. So then, just like the heart, you're going to go around smoothing areas that are a little too bulky and pushing it down to areas that need it. And there's a lot of dry time with this clay, 24 hours. So you have tons of time to play with it before it's too dry. And then even, like I said, when you wet it again, it starts to work again. So you're able to move it again. It's malleable. Malleable? Am I saying that right? Malleable? So that's that. And I think between the legs, I may have to stick a snake in there or use something. I don't have any clay tools, but I do use random things for clay tools, so which makes it a little bit fun. So I might use just a thin paintbrush since I have access to that. Right here. Can't really hear it. It really does tone down the sound, which I don't like, so I have to figure that one out. I have to put louder beads, figure out how to put much louder beads. Before the clay dries, you'll want to stick your pins in it. Stick it in and pull it out so you'll have a spot to stick it in later. Otherwise, it may crack your clay. So I'm going to put a couple in the heart, I think. I hope that's not bad juju. You don't know what juju is? Y'all are like, what? You talking crazy. Bad juju. There's good juju and there's some bad juju. I don't want no bad juju. It's going well. Paper mache seems strong enough to handle the clay. Like I said, I wish it was a little stronger sound, but I think it's fun. Gotta figure out how to make it louder. Maybe sticking more in, like stick some in the legs and stick some in the top, like making more holes, I guess is what I mean. I should have been using my GoPro. Could have videoed it on high speed, because watching clay dry is a bit like watching paint dry. On my high speed time lapse. So it depends on the look that you want to go with it. Let's see, I feel like this leg seemed a little bit thicker than it needed to be. It's fun. I love playing with clay. Crazy Halloween decor. I don't know if I'll be able to decorate this year for Halloween. So the year we moved in our house, I wasn't able to decorate for Halloween because we didn't close on it early enough, and the house that we were living in was for sale still, so I couldn't really put a ton of Halloween decoration to scare off the potential buyers. So that was a year I didn't get to decorate for Halloween, which was kind of sad. And then, let's see, this year I have another surgery lined up for my phase 2 for my breast cancer recovery. My phase 2, and which I hope is my phase end. Don't look back, as my oncologist said. Don't look back. All right. This one looks pretty good. So you get the good shape of it. All the paper mache is covered. So once this is all done, I'll probably trim up her hair, make it a little shorter, so it's kind of spikier. And I like it, maybe having black hair would have been a little bit cuter. But if you're going to do a voodoo doll and you're going to put if you're going to put a button for the eye, instead of having a lay it flat on top and you want it kind of sunken in, you need to do that now. Otherwise it'll just lay flat on top. Kind of like, do you see how this one's kind of sunken into this? So I pushed it in and then pulled it off. But here's how I did it. I used a little bit of netting, right on top, and then pressed really hard, and then just pulled the netting off. That way it wasn't stuck inside the clay. You could probably use saran wrap. That would work. I just happened to have that. Someone had gifted something to me, and I was like, oh, I bet that would work to cover the clay in order to keep it from sticking. And it did. It actually worked really well. But you don't have to use that. Like I said, just use saran wrap or something like that. I think these are really cute. Maybe I'll make a Houdat one. Maybe I'll make this one Houdat so I can shake it when the saints are doing bad, and then I can, come on, you can do it. Give them some good juju. Although my husband might think I'm giving him bad juju. Nah, I think he'd like it. That'd be really cute. Do a saints one. Black and white and gold. Okay, so like, let's see a pin. Let's try that. I'm going to grab a pin. I'm going to go off camera for a second. These are not the pins that I like, but these are the first ones I came across. So this one's that's cool. We could do, okay, these are like shapes. So I could do a heart in the heart, butterflies in the stomach, and stars in the eyes. Would that be neat? Or is that just weird? I don't know if I'll do the eyes. Let's see. Stuck it in there, but I don't think it'll stay. Plus it's really long. So as a decoration, I feel like that's pretty long. Butterflies in the stomach. So what I might do is use a cutter. Cut it down some. That's just the plier. Yeah, that's cute. Stick it in a little bit closer. Butterflies in the stomach and love in the heart. That's a cute one. Could be a love voodoo doll. Alright, so I'm just going to cover the hole a little bit. This might be something you have to do after. You might have to add after you paint it. But we'll see. And I'm going to pull those out and then we'll start all over again. Hi guys. Hi Jody. Aren't you driving? My bestie Jody's on her way over here, so I guess her and the kids are watching. Or she's probably not. She's probably driving. Oh, I didn't even think to ask. Jody, is your husband coming with you? Or is it just you and the kiddos? I don't know. If you can't type, don't type. I don't want you texting and driving. Hi, Monty. You guys still there? So that'll be the little voodoo doll, which is so fun for Halloween. Or for Saints fans. You can kind of hear it. Hi, love. You want to tell Jody hi? He came by to say hi, Miss Jody. And then here's the heart. It's not ceramic, but... And then here's the sound it's making.
Whoa.
You love it? Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
So that's that. That's the craft, you guys. Y'all have a good day. I hope you guys get out and play with some air dry clay. This is a $20 craft. You get a ton of clay and you... Oh, he's got art on his hand. He got a tattoo yesterday.
Even this one.
See that, Aunt Jody? Look, he's got a shark week.
Even on my belly.
Shark week. Ooh, ah, ah.
I have one on my belly.
Don't show your belly, though. We're not going to show his belly. Don't worry. So I'm just going to refine this edge a little bit. And then once it's dry, which is another 24 hours again, and then we'll do some painting effects on it a little like this. If you wanted to add some of these embellishments, you certainly could do that. I think what you would have to do, though, is make them out of clay, lay them on top. So when it dried, it kind of had that curve, and then adhere it on with some adhesive, which you'd probably have to use, what is it, E6000? The epoxy. I like hearts. Hearts are my favorite thing. Anyway, I'm going to play with this for a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you go out and make one. Have a good day, guys. Bye.